Duchess, Glass Eyes Never Blink by M.R. Ray. Chapter 5. By 1 in the morning, the world outside the window had gone flat and dark. The streetlights painted long stripes on the living room wall, slanting over the TV, the sagging recliner, and Buster curled tight in a ball. Willy had not meant to sleep, but the body has limits. He woke, he slept, he woke again until the difference was immaterial. Now, hours later, Willy slumped in his chair, neck cricked at a bad angle, mouth dry as chalk. Buster slept at his feet, legs twitching in a dream of his own. Silence filled the house, save for the refrigerator's faint whir, and the wall clock's measured beat, dragging the night toward morning. He meant to get up, to walk to the bedroom and slide into the sheets next to Wanda, apologize or pretend none of it had happened. But he was too tired to move, and the chair was soft. He closed his eyes for a second, and the second stretched out, spun itself into a thread, then a rope. He dreamed he was in the kitchen, standing at the counter with his hands in a sink full of cold, greasy water. The window above the sink was black, a perfect square cut from the wall. The backyard beyond was gone, no fence, no grill. He washed the same plate over and over, the motion slow and syrupy. His hands felt heavy, his fingers thick and numb. The water would not rinse clean. He looked for the sponge, but it was gone. The more he washed, the worse it got. Behind him, he heard a faint sound, a clink, then a scrape, like nails on a hard surface. He turned, expecting to see Wanda at the table, but the kitchen was empty. He tried to call her name, but his throat was tight, and no sound came out. The clink repeated. He looked down and saw the dog, Buster, under the table. The dog stared at him with wide, round eyes, not moving. The collar around the dog's neck was not his usual leather band, but a chain of gold rings, each link brighter than the last. Willy took a step, then another, and found himself at the edge of the living room. The mantel was empty except for the cat, sitting dead center, glass eyes glowing in the half-light. He tried to walk, but the floor was sticky, every step a struggle. The cat blinked. He saw it. He was sure, and the room lurched, tilting until he had to catch himself on the arm of the recliner. He heard the clink again, closer now. He looked down and saw the cat at his feet, the collar of gold rings rattling with every step. The cat looked up at him, mouth open, eyes glowing red, but made no sound. He ran, or tried to, but his legs would not obey. The cat followed at a leisurely pace, unhurried, never taking its eyes off him. He ducked into a door and slammed it behind him. The cat's deep purring made his teeth ache as he heard it. He climbed onto the bed, tried to hide under the covers, but the sheets wound around him like ropes, pinning his arms to his sides. The cat was on the dresser now, then at the foot of the bed, each move faster than the last. It crept up the blanket, eyes shining, the collar hissing as it slid across the fabric. He woke with a scream. The cat was sitting on him, square on his sternum, its face so close he could see the seams of its eyelids, feel its breath on his nose. Its glass eyes, its red glowing eyes, stared into his, bright as car headlights, unblinking, unmerciful. He tried to move, but the cat's weight pinned him down. From down the hallway,
"What in the actual fuck is going on?"
Willy blinked and the weight vanished. The mantel was bare for a heartbeat, then the cat was back, glass eyes catching the light. Buster scampered towards the glass door, leading to the backyard, scratching at the glass, wanting out. The words caught. His throat scraped raw and dry. He gestured wildly at the mantel.
"The cat?"
He croaked.
"It was on me. Wanda? On my chest. I woke up and it was just there."
Wanda's eyes were wide and wild.
"Enough, Willy!"
she screamed, the sound ricocheting off the walls. She snatched the throw pillow off the couch and hurled it into the wall hard enough to make a picture frame rattle.
You're scaring me now.
Her jaw clenched.
You're waking me up at 2 a.m. for a goddamn toy?
It moved, I swear. It was right here.
He looked down, searching the floor for any trace of gray fur, a drag mark, anything.
It's gone now. I don't...
Wanda stalked forward, poking her finger into his chest, hard enough to leave a mark.
You're having a breakdown, Willy. That's what this is.
She reached up to the mantel, snatched the cat, and thrust it at him.
Look, it's a piece of taxidermy. Nothing more. You are losing your mind.
He leaned away, hands raised. The cat's body was stiff in her grip, the collar of gold rings rattling. Its face was the same blank sneer, but its glass eyes seemed to know something he didn't.
I saw it move.
He insisted, voice rising.
It was breathing. Its claws.
He realized he was babbling but couldn't stop.
Ask Buster. He saw it. He went nuts.
Wanda's face twisted in a sneer.
Of course the mutt's freaking out. You're setting the whole house on edge. You've been weird all week.
She set the cat back onto the mantel as if it had never left. Then she walked over and let Buster out. Willy stared at the cat, the breath going out of him. Maybe it hadn't moved. Perhaps he'd imagined the whole thing. Wanda turned away, rubbing her arms against the cold. She walked into the kitchen, grabbed a bottle of water, and twisted it open with enough force to bend the cap.
You need to see someone,
she said, not looking at him.
I mean it. You're starting to worry me.
He wanted to argue, to plead with her, to explain that it wasn't just stress or work or whatever excuse she'd decide on. But the words didn't come. Wanda took a long drink, wiped her mouth with the back of her hand, then glared at him over her shoulder.
If you wake me up again, so help me God.
She left the bottle on the counter, then stomped down the hall, slamming the bedroom door behind her. He stood there for a long time. He waited for it to move. Outside, Buster barked once, then fell silent.